Hey Capricorn, welcome to Pure Tarot. Thank you for being here. I'm doing a reading for the rest of March. I wanted to emphasize the next few days as being maybe revelatory. Is that how you say it? To be revealing, hopefully, because the sun will is transiting, right? It's just ingressed in the sign of Aries and it's transiting the first degrees of the sign. But eventually Jupiter will go through the same degrees of the zodiac sometime in the summer and then again in 2023. So there might be things that are happening in the next few days until the end of the month that, might eventually develop into something else for you down the line. And so I wanted to see if the cards could tell us something about that. So I've chosen the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, because it's this beginning of the spring and I wanted to see what the trees would like to point out. Give you a message, Capricorn. Oh, I love this tree. The oak. It's a beautiful card. There's even a crown here. There's thunder in the back, and there's almost like either sunrise or sunset, and there's one of the I don't know the fruit, the seed. I don't know in English how to say this. Anyway, okay, let's read the message. The oak. So the key word is steadfastness. Steadfastness. The message is, I am strong and steady, and I am an essential part of the age-old mysteries of the forest. If you call on me, I can give you outer physical power and inner emotional strength whenever you need them. Let me show you the way. It also says, do you realize how much you have to offer the world? Don't underestimate your abilities or your strength of purpose. Your inner power is waiting to be tapped, but only you can do it. Have faith in yourself. It's a beautiful message. Physical power as well as emotional strength. I'm focusing on how much you have to offer the world. Have faith. It's beautiful. Being an earth sign, you're steady, you're steadfast, you're extremely persistent, resilient. We have the 9 of Wands in the tarot. You're solid, Capricorn, and the oak is such a solid, it's a very hard wood, right? This card wants to come out. That was the Hermit. I have, I'm going to say something. So I have a few decks where the cards will pop out, and then this deck, it's a new deck. And the cards don't easily pop out. It's really interesting. So I have my theory on that, but I'm not going to expose it any further, but just maybe to bring your attention and ask you to be patient and wait for the cards to come out. Let me see if maybe one more wants to jump out. Okay. So Queen of Swords at the bottom, and the one that popped out is the Chariot, so that's really nice. Okay, so let me repeat what I have on the table. I have the 9 of Wands, the Hermit, the Empress in reverse, and the Chariot, as well as the Queen of Swords in reverse on the bottom of the deck, at the bottom of the deck. So out of 4 cards here, you have 3 major arcanas. It's interesting. I'm going to focus first on the minor, the 9 of Wands, which was the first card out. It's interesting. This depiction, this particular image, the person looks really lost in their thoughts. They look like they're obviously tired and they needed a break, which is the typical meaning of the card. So maybe as strong as you are, right, as steadfast as you usually are, you carry a lot of weight, right? You usually are the responsible one. A lot of Capricorns take care of their whole families, the providers. That's for some of you, right? It's a general statement, but just to give you an idea of this sort of character of the sign, right? In case you're not Capricorn and you're watching this. Anywho, it feels like you've been needing to lean on someone or something else for once, right? Instead of being the person people lean on, you're the one that needs some time out, some respite. And someone to lean on. It's interesting because the hermit leans on his stick, his walking stick, right? So we get a double leaning emphasis here. I'm sensing you to be very solitary at the moment. Both figures are, you know, single on these cards. But the Hermit, of course, is a card of specifically choosing to go, to isolate yourself and to be, you know, to walk on your own. But with what I was bringing forth, right, about leaning on someone, I think you are asking for help and asking only one person. So you're being very specific about who you're approaching to be able to take the time out for that person to really be your rock at the moment. Or to be your oak. But I sense a lot of solitude. It's almost like this is what's been weighing on you. This is what's been heavy on you, is the solitude. So maybe it's really interesting because being always the one in, you know, the driver's seat, and then we have the Chariot here. It's really interesting. You're doing all these things for others, right? But you without realizing without realizing it, you're taking on so much by yourself, for yourself. Not for yourself, onto yourself for others, that it's separating you from these connections, right? It's because you're caught in the material side of things and making sure that everyone has what they need. But by you being so busy doing that, you're not connecting with the others. that you're taking care of. And so at some point, the solitude is weighing on you. And it's almost like it's your Achilles tendon, right? It's exactly what's eventually making you reach like a, not necessarily a breaking point, but a tipping point. And I think that for once, although this feels like you're still alone, I'm telling you, I'm sensing that you're asking for help. Or at least you're wanting to lean on someone or something. The Empress in reverse with the Chariot card, right? This for me would be the isolation, like the fact that you're not connecting with people, right? You're not connecting with the abundance, whatever you're generating for others. Basically, others are benefiting from these fruits, right? From this labor or from this care that you're providing, no matter what shape it takes, right? Whether you're paying the bills, cooking, whatever you're doing. The thing is, this Empress, she's disconnected in terms of being in reverse. She's not connected emotionally to these people. This is exactly what I was describing about you're in solitude because as much as you care for others, you end up being alone and not really connecting, right? This Queen of Swords in reverse here. I wonder, how much of this energy, how can I put it? It feels like it's you, okay? And I'm gonna say it like that. It feels like you might have been the one inadvertently disconnecting strongly, very strongly, from the people that you actually are taking care of, quote unquote. It's a very strange feeling. It's almost like a sensing resentment, right? Maybe you have resentment, accumulated resentment from doing all these things and not feeling like it's a two-way street. And I think this is where the disconnect is happening, where you feel like you're not abundant, you have nothing else to give in terms of your emotions or in terms of your, how can I put it, like just the things that spur out of you, right? Like these spontaneous feelings that you might have had in the past, they're absolutely being obliterated by this Queen of Swords. Your mental is absolutely killing all of your emotions, right? You're totally up in your head, maybe too much so here, like so deep in thoughts. You're drained. You're really drained. You're drained, and you're a sourpuss. You know, you're really you waited too long to ask for help or to lean on someone else. You waited too long, in the sense that you're hurting yourself and you're probably hurting others. You know, this combination here, these two feminine figures are in a bad spot, right? You're depleted. and you're sort of like at the worst end, like, how can I say, you're at the worst of the, almost like you are at your worst, right? You're being like really difficult, and obviously it comes from exhaustion, but it comes from this solitude and disconnect. It's really, really strong here. And if you let resentment fester, then obviously it's not going to help, right? So what's really interesting, I'm going to go back to the oak 2 seconds. It's funny, physical. So I can give you outer physical power and inner emotional strength. That's what the oak promises, right? It says, do you realize how much you have to offer the world? Don't underestimate your abilities and strength of purpose. So I think the resentment comes from partly sacrificing yourself, right? Some of your needs to meet the needs of others that you're taking care of. And I think that this is where the real resentment lies. So thank God I shuffled longer and I got this Chariot card for you. It's the breath of fresh air of this short reading. This is a promise of change. This is where the winds turn. This is where something very quick, something changes rapidly. It could be someone, I think, I'm going to say something, it could be it's just one way of looking at it, but I think that if you've extended yourself and finally asked for help, so maybe you asked the oak for help, very symbolically speaking, like spiritually asking for the universe to bring you strength and to show you the way, right, of striking the balance between being strong in the world and also emotionally strong within yourself. Or the oak is this person that you've called on and that's coming in. Someone is coming in. The person that have been asking to lean on is coming in. And if it's not a person, it's a change of scenery, right? It's you taking a short trip. It doesn't have to be long distance. It could, because it is a chariot, but it is definitely, sort of needing to step away and maybe go somewhere just to change the scenery, change the maybe encounter like people you haven't seen in a while or new people. But it really feels like the turn of the winds, right? Like it almost feels like the tide is coming in. It's really interesting. Because if it's water coming in, although this is not a water card, I mean, it is a Cancerian card, but I don't know, I'm sensing if it's water, then it's emotions coming towards you. Which, by the way, this Empress in reverse, look at this, it's quite interesting. This Empress in reverse, she's looking this way, and this Chariot, this Cavalier is coming in this way, right? So, and if it's water gushing forth, then it's interesting because there's a lot of hay here, right? She's in a field, and because of the color of the wheat, you could suspect that it's close to, how do you say, when you, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my English is meaning it's time for the, how do you say, to la moisson, oh my gosh, anyways, when it's time to collect the wheat, right? Meaning that it's ripe and it is time to collect it. Sorry, I'm missing the right word, and it's only slipping my mind. I'm sure I'm gonna bite my tongue when I or my lip when I remember the right word. Anyway, I just want to express that this is really wet, this is really dry, so the water is coming in to soak, you know, and make it fertile again and alive again, or, you know. I really hope you guys are patient with my sometimes language barrier. You get 2 cards. So 1414 and 1111. Let's start with 1414. It says you don't like inaction, but be careful of fatigue, the fatigue that is on the 9 of Wands here. It says if something has been weighing on you lately, remember you can change your reality to be what you want. You deserve a taste of happiness. This is really interesting. It's also what the oak was telling you, right? To call on him. And then you have 1111. So that's like this will definitely go under the Chariot card. You are on the right path. The angels protect and see you. Maybe it's this particular angel figure for you, right? It's interesting because it's a Cancerian card and it's your opposite sign, right? So opposite also being complementary, right? That complements you. So it says also you're close to an epiphany. What you are doing is meaningful. Your manifestations are about to come true. You are aligned. It's a beautiful message. I feel, honestly, I really feel it's this change of scenery, or this person coming in, the help that you wanted, that is going to help you revitalize, you know, like what I was saying about the water, like, you know, soaking the Empress, right, and making her feel gorged again, like all full, right? So that's what I'm sensing here. And that will bring you into alignment. So it doesn't have to be a person. Honestly, it could be, you know, a change in activities, a change of scenery, a location, a short trip. But it involves movement. It involves, it's going to happen soon. You see, we have 7 here, so because it's the Chariot. So maybe the next 7 days, the next week. So by the end of the month, really, exactly the timing of the time frame that I've set for the reading. However that resonates for you. But please get out of the bitchy mode here. And the solution is maybe tapping into this particular energy of the Chariot, right? However you choose to express it in your world. I guess that's the alignment resides there, right? Okay, I've said enough. Thank you for being here. Please like the video. Please share. Please subscribe. I will see you soon. Take care.